Hello everyone, welcome back to my video. So today what am I going to talk about? I'm going to talk about Penrith Part 2. So if you have missed my Part 1 video where I talked about whether Penrith 2 better, is it worth it to buy for investment purpose, and all that, please go back and watch my Part 1 video, right? So today Part 2, I'm going to focus fully on the floor plan, right? And then I'm going to give you my recommendation on what are the floor plan that I think that it is good and you should focus on. Okay, so the same disclaimer here, the information that I'll be presenting is solely just for your reference. So let's recap a bit on where exactly is Penrith, just in case you didn't know. It is actually very near to Queenstown MRT. Let me zoom in a bit. So if you see this red color box stop is Penrith. So Penrith, towards the right hand side, it is actually the Skyview at Dawson, the HDB flat. Towards the left hand side is a low-rise Queenstown Primary School. What is above is the Margaret Drive School, right? So this is a special school, and the one below is you are facing the Dawson Vista, right? So you will expect that where has the most beautiful unblocked view. Most of the units are actually facing north-south. So I would say that the units that is facing the Margaret Drive School, actually you will get a very nice unblocked view, right? And behind is the GCB area. So it's really you have the whole unblocked view. Your whole living room, you will see a full unblocked view. And most of the big units like the 4-bedder, they are all tucked at this side of the development, right? So they have the nicest view, right? So which one has the, I would say, a not so good view is those that is facing the Dawson Vista HDB flat. Because it can be quite near, I think. I don't have the distance, but from the picture, I think it seems quite near to me. The rest of the view, I think is okay, like the pool view and all that. So total 2 towers. And let's move on. So some project info about Penrith. Total about 462 units. Quite a decent sized development. And this is by Guaco Land and Hong Leong. And they have 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, all the way to 4-bedroom, right? So if you are looking at 1-bedroom or 5-bedroom, sorry, this project don't have. So, and this is a 99 years leasehold because this is a government land sale site. So to talk about some of the site plan about Penrith, is actually very easy because the plot of land is not very big. And total 462 units, total of 40-story high. You can actually see that the main entrance, you actually drive in from the Margaret Drive, and then you'll go past the guardhouse and then down to the car park. And just now when I talked about, where are the units that have a nice view, it's actually these units here, right? These units here, and these are my big units. The 4-bedder, they are all here, right? And also one stack of 2-bedder is actually right here. So I foresee that this stack 4 of 2-bedder should be snapped up pretty fast on the launch day. To orientate you a bit, in front here is the church, if you're familiar, and it is facing, all the units here are facing the GCB area. So you will have a very nice unblocked view. And the units here, it will be actually facing the Dawson Vista HDB, right? So these are my smaller 3-bedroom and 2-bedroom. You will have some units that is facing here, and the rest you have pool view facing. Okay, and you can see that because they actually have 2 blocks only, so I can actually see that the block-to-block distance is actually very good. And in between, you will notice that I think nowadays is the new type of development in terms of the trend, right? If you look at the pool, you will notice that it's no longer like a rectangular pool. Okay, so a rectangular pool is old school already. I am seeing a lot of developments, the developer have actually started to build very nice pool. And I have seen it in Florence residences, I've seen it in Riverfront residences. The developer have actually built a resort style of pool. Because I think nowadays the buyers actually appreciate this kind of lifestyle. They actually appreciate this kind of pool, right? So it's no longer a boring rectangular pool. They have 2 function rooms here. They are tucked in the middle, and the gym is actually here also. So it's a 2-story high clubhouse area. It's a pretty simple site plan because the land size is also not very big to begin with. And you have a full-size tennis court right here. And just to note is that I also noticed that the developer actually have one side gate right here. This is actually Queenstown Primary School, right? So if you want to go to the MRT, I believe this is the nearest side gate to the Queenstown MRT station. And you cut through the HDB block. I noticed that the developer has actually have if I zoom in for you to see, if you see that the developer actually have a facility deck at the 40th story of block 70 and block 72. So it's not the whole floor. You will see that the level 40 story, you still have other units at level 40. But just that the developer sacrificed about 3 units to build this facility deck. And what do they have up there, right? They actually have barbecue pit, okay, right here and right here. So if you want to host your friends, to have a very nice barbecue, you can actually book this level 40 story barbecue pit, and then you can get to enjoy a very nice view. That's all for the site plan. Let's move on to my analysis for the first starting off 2-bedroom. 2-bedroom, the developer have only 2 type of units, 2-bed 1 bath and 2-bed 2 bath. So 2-bed 1 bath starting from 614 square feet. If I were to see the main difference, 2-bed 1 bath and 2-bed 2 bath, the layout, I can see that the 2-bed 2 bath is actually giving an enclosed kitchen, and 2-bed 1 bath is an open concept kitchen. And also one more thing is that of course you have one more bathroom lah. That is the main differences, and of course the walkway for 2-bed 1 bath is slightly longer. So this is the main difference between 2-bed 1 bath and 2-bed 2 bath. So if let's say you are looking at 2-bed 1 bath, they have 2 stacks. So you can actually see that this Stack 4 has the very nice unblocked GCB view, and also Stack 10. So that's why I say on the launch day, I feel Stack 4 maybe they will go first lah, because a lot of buyers they actually wanted a very nice view unit. But if let's say you are buying for investment, stay until the end of the video, because later on I'll be touching on the price prediction. So I will explain more later. If let's say you're looking at 2-bed 2 bath, I would say that if you look at the common bedroom size, is actually 8 square meter. So you will notice that 8 square meter is just gum ho for a queen size bed. I can see that these are probably one of the, I would say, a disadvantage. One thing that is not so good about this project is that their common bedroom are built smaller. And I'm seeing a lot of projects like, I don't want to name, but I see a lot of new launch project, the developer are actually giving at least a 9 square meter kind of size. So can you imagine a 9 square meter means you actually have a bit more space to put additional things like your side table and all that, right? For this 8 square meter, it's just nice for a queen size bed, and your side table really have to buy very small. If not, you cannot put any side table at all. The master bedroom, quite standard, 11 square meter is quite decent. And from a 2-bed 2 bath, where is it located? It's actually located here. This is facing the Dawson Vista HDB flat and the pool view. Move on. So my recommended layout, if let's say you are looking at a 2-bedder for investment or for own stay, but I believe a lot of buyers, they are looking for a 2-bedder for investment. My recommendation is 2-bed 2 bath, 678 square feet. Why? Because I think that it is actually important to have one more bathroom if your budget actually allows you to get one more bath. And of course, on top of that, you will get an enclosed kitchen. I feel that the price difference between these two might be 166,000 more if I can get one more bathroom and one more enclosed kitchen. If you ask me whether I will pay or not, if let's say I'm really buying for investment, I think I will pay, because I have seen developments that you pay 166,000 more but you really get one more bathroom, but the kitchen is the same. So I think having an enclosed kitchen and one more bathroom is something that a lot of buyers out there, they are actually looking at, even for a 2-bedroom. So next I move on to a 3-bedder. 3-bedder, I have 2 types. One is 3-bedroom compact, the other one is the 3-bedroom premium. So what is the difference? So usually a 3-bedroom compact is that you don't have a yard, you don't have a utility room, it's just basic 3-bedder. You have 3-bedroom, you have a living hall, you have a dining room, you have a kitchen. That's all. Right, a 3-bedroom premium is the developer actually throw in like maybe a storeroom, a flexi room, a yard plus a WC, right? So if you see that, and I think most nowadays I'm seeing a lot of developers, they actually have these 2 different type of layout is to cater for buyers with different budget. So for starting off 3-bedroom compact, I have type 3A and 3B. 786 square feet is the smallest, and 850 square feet. So what is the difference? What I'm seeing here is that you will notice that the 786 square feet in terms of the kitchen compared to 850, my 850 will have a slightly larger kitchen. And you can actually see that the living and dining for the 786 square feet is also narrower, but my 850 square feet is longer. So the feeling is more comfortable when you walk in to 850 square feet. In terms of the bedroom size, I don't have the bedroom breakdown in terms of dimension, but I think should be all 8 square meter. I'm seeing that the common bedroom and master bedroom, they are all the same, including the master bath and common bathroom. Even balcony size are the same. If you are looking at a 3-bedroom compact, if let's say you are comparing these 2 layout, I would say that the bigger size actually goes to the kitchen and the living room, and these are a very important element for a lot of home buyers if let's say they are looking for own stay. So for 3-bedroom compact, where are they located? 3-bedroom compact is actually located Stack 6, which is facing the pool, and Stack 12, which is facing the HDB flat. So again, I think that Stack 6 definitely will be a hot favorite because it's facing a pool view facing, and in terms of the price jump, really have to see on the launch day how much did the developer price between the HDB facing and the pool view facing. I do expect the price premium should be around maybe 3%. So for the 850 square feet, where are they located? I only have one stack which is stack 8, which is facing the HDB flat facing. Next, I move on to the 3-bedroom premium, 936 square feet versus 1066 square feet. What is the difference? So for 1066 square feet, very heng, I have the dimension, right? So you can actually see that I expect the 936 square feet, the bedroom size are all the same lah. So the main differences come. Let's talk about the main differences. The main differences that I see here is that the 936 square feet has a slightly larger foyer. 1066, the foyer is really longer. It's actually longer. Okay, and also another differences what I see here is the yard area. You can actually see that the yard area is like that only. Okay, but for 1066 square feet, the yard area is actually pretty long. I think the 1066 square feet has a slightly larger kitchen, and for both layout, the common thing is that the developer is actually giving you a WC and a storeroom. I would like to call it a flexi room also. Why I call it a flexi room? Let me zoom in. Because this can be used in many purposes. If you see there's a wall here, this wall can be break. So if let's say, if you want to use the store as a helper room, you just maintain this wall and you can put a bed here and close off this door. Right, this is the bifold door. And if let's say you want to use it as a study, you may want to close the door here and lock it. This wall, you break it and you break it open. Okay, and this can be your study area. So that's why it's multi-purpose. But one thing that is not so good is that you will notice that the developer actually this side is the beam. So this part of the wall you cannot break. So if you really want to have a slightly larger kitchen, sorry, you cannot do it. But if you want to use it as a helper room or the study room, yes, you can. So this is probably the one side of it that is not so good lah. But this confirm is a flexi room, so it's up for your own use. Then another thing is that what I'm seeing here is that the living and dining I think should be quite similar, except that I got a feeling that the 1066 square feet, the wall to wall is actually slightly longer. I feel from what I see from the floor plan, it might be slightly longer. And the balcony space is also bigger. It's about 7 square meter. Alright, the bedroom size are all the same, 8817, 8817 also. The 936 square feet, you will realize one main differences is that the 1066 you have a walk-in wardrobe, but the 936 square feet don't have a walk-in wardrobe lah. It's just a normal wardrobe space. So 1066 square feet, in a nutshell, the space actually goes to where? It actually goes to the yard. We have a slightly larger kitchen, we have a slightly larger living room, we have a slightly larger balcony, you have a walk-in wardrobe in your master bedroom. So I think, in this aspect, I feel that the 3-bedroom premium 1066 square feet, in terms of the things that you'll be getting, I think it's really the developer have actually put in thoughts that, to give what most home buyers they are looking at. Because for home buyers who are looking at 1000 square feet and above, most of them, they will have a helper and they will need a helper's room. And also they want a slightly larger kitchen. So that is the trend of buyers in terms of their needs. And this is something that I have been seeing. So if let's say you're looking at a 3-bedroom compact, my recommended layout will be 3-bedroom compact 850 square feet instead of 786 square feet. Why? Because I feel that you are getting a slightly larger living room and dining area. This is something that is very important. Larger kitchen also, and all the bedroom size is very similar to 786 square feet. So I think in terms of the price difference, the premium, I think it is worthwhile to pay. Okay, if let's say you're looking at a 3-bedroom premium, my recommendation is 1066 square feet because you are really getting all the elements that a lot of home buyers they are looking at. Slightly larger living room, walk-in wardrobe, you have a larger kitchen, you have a larger yard. So these are my recommendation for a 3-bedroom layout. So next we will be looking at a 4-bedroom layout. So 4-bedroom layout, they have two different types, 1173 square feet and 1281 square feet. And what are the differences is that I'm seeing that in terms of a kitchen wise, you are still getting a kitchen, a yard and a store. Both are getting the same thing. But one very noticeable or the biggest difference is that for the 1281 square feet, the developer is actually giving you a landscape living and dining. Whereas the Type 4A 1173 square feet is actually a portrait kind of layout. Why is this important? Because personally, I have done quite a lot of resale condo and I noticed that a lot of buyers, they are very attracted to this kind of landscape layout. Because why? Because they just feel that the whole living room, it looks bigger and it looks brighter. And a lot of people that I have seen is that they will move their dining table out to the balcony. They will move it here. And this area, they will actually do up their study, they will do it here, or if not, they will just put some entertainment corner here, right? So it becomes a very flexible space. So this is the reason why I'm saying that for landscape layout is usually what it will attract most resale buyers out there. And one main difference that I see here is that between these two layouts is that the bathroom too. So if you see the 1281 square feet, the bedroom 3 and bedroom 2, you are getting a Jack and Jill toilet, but the 1173 square feet is a standalone bath. And the wardrobe space, I feel that for these two layouts should be quite similar. Both have a walk-in wardrobe. So this is the main difference. So I feel that in terms of the difference in terms of size is almost 90 over square feet. The space really goes to the living room, the kitchen, and the balcony space. So these are usable and living space, which a lot of home buyers, they are actually asking for. So I think in terms of 1281 square feet layout is something that I really like. And my recommended unit, I think you guessed it already, right? Because I have been focusing a lot on the 1281 square feet. So you are right, it is 1281 square feet. This is my recommended layout. Because why? Because of the landscape living and dining is something that I really love. And the yard is also bigger and longer. And the 1281 square feet, where is it located? Premium view, the GCB view, there's only one stack. So if let's say you're looking at 1281 square feet, you must pray hard that your better number is good. Next one, I will go to the price prediction. So let's recap a bit on the Penrith. How much did the developer actually got the piece of land? They got it for 1154 per square foot. The break-even is about 2026 per square foot. So usually how we estimate launch price is that usually I will take 2026, this is the break-even. Usually developer, they will have a 20% profit. And also this is a new type of layout which is called harmonization layout. So the developer actually lose out on they cannot sell the aircon ledge and airspace to you anymore. That's why they need to multiply by the size. The size will become smaller. So there will be a 5% harmonization price. So in total, I should be getting about 2550 per square foot. So this is my estimated launch price. So one thing that is good about having a 40-story building means you expect that the price between the top floor and the bottom floor, the gap should be very big. So if I do an estimation of per floor jump about quite standard 0.5% per floor jump. If the top floor, if the developer sell at 3,000 per square foot at the top floor, which means that the lowest floor, level 2, you can expect about probably 2.5. So from the low floor to the top floor is $500 per square foot. This is based on my own guess. So in terms of the price gap, because of these price differences, so it really depends on whether you are getting for investment or for own stay. Because there will definitely be people who prefer the higher floor units, like the level 40, level 39, level 38, level 37, right? And they'll be paying close to 2,009, 3,000 per square foot already. And imagine today, if let's say, if you get something that is maybe reasonable high, maybe level 10, it's about 2.6. 2.6 to level 30 is about $400 per square foot. So $400 per square foot, if let's say, if you get a 1066 square feet kind of layout, the price difference, I would say that is about 400 plus already, right? 400k plus in terms of price differences. So this is something, for you to take note also. If I say you're looking at a 2-bed, 1-bath, based on my prediction, I feel the lower floor might be 2.6. And this price, again, is not from a developer. It's based on my own estimation. And the top floor, I'm thinking maybe you'll go up to 3,143 already. So in terms of the price difference, I think the lowest was starting from 1.596. Very close to 1.6. All the way to 1.929. So this is 2-bed, 1-bath, 614 square feet. If let's say you're looking at a 3-bedroom compact 786 square feet, I feel it might start from about 2.5 because of the size is actually bigger than a 2-bed, 1-bath. So the per square foot will be smaller. I think it will be starting from 1.965 all the way up to probably 2.375 at the highest floor. Then if let's say you're looking at a 4-bedroom, I think it might start from 2.8 all the way up to 3.385. So this is my own prediction. So personally, I think it really depends on how much developer they want to launch on the launch day. If they launch, I feel that if the developer decide to launch at about in the range of 2,004 per square foot, I think that is quite a good price already. Why? Because I am seeing that development like Sterling Residences, they have already transacted at 2,006 something per square foot. We are seeing, in terms of Queen's Peak and Commonwealth Tower, about 2,500 per square foot already. So if the developer really starting price at about 2,400 plus, I think, they are selling you at a resale price. So I think that's all for my analysis on Penrith Part 2 on the layout. So if you have any question on the layout, feel free to drop me a message and then we can discuss more. Alright, cheers, bye.